Here it is. He tells them in verse 6, he's getting ready to answer. Here is why you must fulfill your responsibility. It says, for you are a holy people in verse 6. For you are a holy people to the Lord your God. Let me say it one more time. For you are a holy people to the Lord your God. Let me tell you, many people still in this day and age believe that holiness is a denomination. Y'all talk back to me now. Some people believe that holiness is the name of a church. I'm going to say this, and I will say it until I am no longer saying. Somebody say if a church is a church at all, it should be a holiness church. If a believer is a believer at all, they should be holy. The word says, be ye holy. God says, for I am holy. Holiness is not a denomination. Holiness is a way of life. And let me tell you, to be holy means to be set apart. To be set apart. And when things bottom out, hold on to the reality that we have been set apart. Tell your neighbor, you've been set apart. Let me tell you, there are some distinctions amongst those who have been set apart. And I'm going to move quickly through these, so write them quickly. When you've been set apart, you understand that character and integrity matter. Character and integrity are who you are when everybody's looking. But it's also who you are when folks ain't looking. It's who you are in the public, but it's also who you are in the private. And let me just tell you something. Some of us do real good when everybody's looking. But some of us don't do so well behind the closed doors. Somebody say amen today. But even when the bottom falls out, we must be people of character and integrity. If you can celebrate Jesus when you got money, you better celebrate him when the money runs out. If you can walk upright and walk with holiness and character when you are on the easy side, you can still be able to stay there when you go to the left. Character, integrity matter. But also write this down. Those who are set apart, work where you are, and you work with what you have. Let me tell you something. Don't ever get to the place, even when the bottom falls out, that you diminish what God has placed on the inside of you. Sometimes, saints, the best thing we can do when the bottom falls out is to work in the place where God has placed us and to use what God has equipped us to use. But now here's where you have to be careful. Stop listening to folk tell you that you ought to be at another place. That's what gets us in trouble. You be where God has you for that season of your life. Work where you are with what you have, but you wait on God for the next season. Some of us are waiting on other folk to give us a next season. Saints of God, God can use people to help us, but stop listening to folk tell you things and try to be your God. You got a God. Listen to God. Work where you are. Work with excellence. Do the best you can. Use the tools that God has gave you, because if you can do that, then God can open up another opportunity down the road. But also, set apart distinctions. You stop pretending to be something that you're not. See, some of us, our problem is that we got on great pretenders outfits. And some of us are pretending, young folk, y'all can get with this, that we're Superman and Batman. That we don't need no help. We can do it all by ourselves. Let me tell you something, you better stop telling that lie. Because truth be told, nobody in here is on an island by themselves. And I'm here to let you know I have lived it where I thought I could do everything on my own. As you get older, you start realizing what you could do in your 20s, you can't do in your 30s. And God knows my bones are talking right now, even as I preach in my 40s. You need somebody to help you. And God will send you the right somebody. It has to be the right somebody, because God will show up for us. And oftentimes, how many people can admit God used somebody to help us to get through certain seasons in our life? And had it not been for God touching brother or sister so-and-so, we wouldn't even have gotten this far. But brothers, we need somebody.